Let me ask you something. What if the way you're thinking right now is already outdated? What if the rules you're playing by no longer reward effort the way they used to? Because here's the truth. The world didn't slowly change. It snapped. And most people are still reacting to yesterday's reality. High performers don't do that. They see the shift early, they adapt fast, and they dominate quietly. By 2026, success won't belong to the busiest people. It won't belong to the loudest people. It won't even belong to the most talented. It will belong to the people who think differently. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you won't just understand how high performers think in 2026. You'll start thinking like one. Right now, from hustle to leverage. Let's kill a myth. Right now. Hustle is not the goal. It never was. Hustle was a response, a reaction, a survival strategy for a world that rewarded effort over effectiveness. And for a while, it worked. Long hours, late nights, pushing through fatigue like it meant something. But in 2026, that model breaks. Because hustle without leverage doesn't make you powerful. It makes you replaceable. Here's the hard truth. If the only way you create value is by being present, if everything stops when you stop, you don't own your work. Your work owns you. High performers see this early. They stop chasing busyness. They stop worshiping grind. They stop confusing motion with progress. They are no longer impressed by exhaustion. They are impressed by outcomes. They don't ask, how can I do more? They ask a better question, how can I remove more? What can be eliminated without lowering results? What can be automated without losing quality? What can be multiplied without burning energy? Because energy is no longer unlimited. You feel that. Attention is no longer cheap. You fight for it every day. And time? Time is the most expensive asset on earth. Once it's spent, it's gone. That realization hits hard. And when it does, your standards change. High performers stop proving how hard they work. They start proving how well they think. They use tools without guilt. Because tools don't make you lazy, they make you precise. They build systems without apology. Because consistency beats willpower every time. They delegate without ego. Because leadership is not control, it's clarity. Here's the emotional shift most people miss. Struggle is not the same as growth. Pain does not equal progress. Just because something is hard doesn't mean it's meaningful. High performers understand this. They don't prove their worth by suffering. They prove it by scaling, by creating results that outlive their effort, by building once and benefiting repeatedly. This is where the mindset flips. If you're tired all the time, that's not a badge of honor. It's not proof you're committed. It's not proof you're driven. It's a signal. A signal that something in your thinking is outdated, that you're spending energy where leverage should exist, that you're pushing harder instead of stepping smarter. And this is the moment of choice. You can double down on exhaustion, or you can redesign how you operate. You can keep asking for more hours, or you can demand better systems. You can keep wearing burnout like a trophy, or you can build a life that doesn't require it. High performers choose differently. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They upgrade the way they think, and the results follow. Because in 2026, effort alone is no longer enough. Leverage is the game. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner everything changes. Look around. Everyone's reacting. Everyone's triggered. Everyone's rushing. It's chaos. And that's exactly why calm has become the superpower of our time. In 2026, high performers don't win by moving faster. They win by thinking more clearly. In a world that's moving at breakneck speed, clarity becomes the ultimate weapon. When others panic, they pause. When others react, they reflect. When others spiral, they stabilize. They know the secret. You can't build a powerful future from a dysregulated mind. Stress isn't the problem anymore. Unmanaged stress is. Think about it. The pressure will always be there. The noise will always surround you. But how do you respond? That's what separates the winners from the rest. High performers train emotional control the way athletes train muscles. It's deliberate. It's consistent. It's practiced daily. They don't eliminate pressure. They build the capacity to handle it. They understand something fundamental. You can't rise above pressure if you're drowning in it. The most successful leaders today don't react impulsively. They're not driven by fear. They don't make decisions based on what feels right in the moment. They breathe, they think, they adjust. Because when the storm hits, it's not about how fast you move, it's about how steady you stay. The person who stays calm in uncertain moments, that's the person who leads. That's the person everyone follows. Pause for a second. Ask yourself, when pressure hits, do you shrink or do you sharpen? Do you cave in or do you rise? That answer matters more than any technical skill you have, more than your qualifications, more than your resume. Because the ability to stay composed in the face of adversity, that's the true power. When others buckle under pressure, you can rise above. When everything else seems chaotic, you can stay clear-headed. And that will make all the difference in a world that demands more than ever. So take a deep breath. Start practicing emotional control. Start building your capacity to handle stress. Because the future belongs to those who can manage it, not avoid it. In the high-pressure moments, the true leaders emerge. They don't just survive, they thrive. Sharpen your mind. Sharpen your spirit. And the world will follow. That's the kind of leader you can become in 2026. The one who stays calm when everyone else is freaking out. Identity over motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Let that sink in. It comes and goes. Like a wave. It rises up. You feel unstoppable. But then it crashes. You're left stranded. No motivation. No drive. And just when you need it the most, it vanishes. Here's the thing. High performers don't rely on motivation. They rely on something much stronger. Identity. Motivation is a fleeting guest. It shows up when it feels like it. But your identity, that's who you are, even when no one is watching. It's what gets you through when motivation is nowhere to be found. High performers don't say, I'll try. They say, I'm the kind of person who finishes. They don't say, I hope I stay consistent. They say, consistency is who I am. This isn't just a mental shift, it's an identity shift. This is the difference between achieving your goals and dreaming about them. It's not about waiting to feel ready. It's not about hoping that motivation will appear like some magic spark. It's about making a decision. A decision to be the kind of person who does the work, regardless of how they feel. In 2026, discipline isn't forced. It's aligned. You stop negotiating with yourself. The back and forth, it ends. You stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. You stop wondering, what if I'm not good enough? You just act, because that's who you decided to be. No more excuses, no more hesitation. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. There's no such thing. The moment is now. The decision is now. And once you decide, everything changes. The emotional truth, every time you break a promise to yourself, it hurts. It chips away at your self-trust. You feel it. That voice in your head gets louder, reminding you that you can't rely on yourself. And the more you break promises, the more that voice wins. But every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build something unbreakable. You build self-trust. You build confidence. Not because you feel confident, but because you've earned it. Step by step, decision by decision, you follow through. And the next time, you do it again. This is how high performers win. They don't wait for confidence to show up. They don't hope they'll feel motivated. They decide, they commit, and they show up, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. You don't need motivation to win. You need identity. The kind of identity that says, I don't quit. The kind of identity that says, I am unstoppable because I never break my word. High performers don't chase success. They earn it. One decision at a time. So, what will your decision be today? Think in decades, act in days. Most people live in urgency. They rush. They react. They live in a constant state of now. The pressure to get things done quickly drives their decisions. They want results immediately. And when that doesn't happen, they feel stressed, anxious, and defeated. But here's the secret. High performers live in direction. They don't just react. They zoom out, they see the bigger picture, they ask themselves, where is this decision taking me 5 years from now? This isn't about chasing the next shiny object. It's about choosing the path that leads to lasting success, no matter how long it takes. High performers are willing to look short-term foolish to win long-term freedom. While others chase quick fixes, they stay focused. They ignore distractions. They don't get sidetracked by what's popular today. They understand that the true rewards come from the things that compound over time. Here's the key difference. Average thinkers want fast relief. They want the easy win. They want comfort right now. But comfort doesn't build greatness. High performers want lasting leverage. They're playing the long game. They make small, consistent moves every day. These moves may seem boring at first. They might not show immediate results. but they trust the trajectory. They trust the process. The world might tempt you with quick wins, but high performers know better. They don't need instant results. They're building something much bigger. Ask yourself this question: are your daily actions feeding your future, or are you just numbing your present? Are you making decisions that will pay off in the long run, or are you just trying to escape the discomfort of today? In 2026, urgency won't reward you. Alignment will. It's not about rushing, it's about choosing. Choosing the path that leads to where you want to go. Choosing to invest in yourself even when no one's watching. It's about trusting that small daily actions are adding up to something massive. High performers trust the process. They understand that success isn't an accident. It's a result of years of consistent, focused action. They stay aligned with their goals. They keep their eyes on the future. And when they look back, they don't see a list of rushed decisions. They see a series of smart choices made with intention and purpose. So, what about you? Are you chasing short-term satisfaction? Or are you building something bigger? Are your actions today aligned with who you want to become? The world won't reward urgency. It rewards direction. It rewards the people who understand that success isn't about rushing. It's about getting in alignment with your future self. Start building that future today, one move at a time. Pressure is a privilege. Let's reframe something. Pressure isn't a sign you're failing. Pressure is a sign you're expanding. You're growing. You're moving past your limits. And that's where the magic happens. When things get tough, most people panic. They feel overwhelmed. They want to quit. They think, I'm failing. But high performers don't see it that way. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, what is this preparing me for? They understand that pressure is a tool. It's shaping them. It's demanding more from them because they're ready for more. And they know that they can rise to meet it. High performers don't shy away from responsibility. They seek it. They don't wait for someone to hand them an opportunity. They create it. They seek feedback because they know that's how they improve. They're not afraid of what others think. They're afraid of standing still. And most of all, they seek situations that demand more of them because they know that comfort is expensive. Comfort costs you something precious. It costs you growth. It costs you edge. It costs you momentum. Comfort keeps you stuck. In 2026, the people who rise aren't the ones waiting for an easy path. They're the ones who voluntarily step into a challenge. They don't wait to be pushed. They push themselves. They pull themselves forward even when the path feels unclear. They walk through the discomfort because they know on the other side is a version of themselves that's stronger, sharper, and better. Here's the emotional peak. If you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or stretched thin, good. It means you're touching the edge of your next level. You're right at the tipping point. You're being tested. But here's the truth. This pressure is not something you avoid. It's something you lean into. Because when you lean in, you grow, you expand, you level up. When it gets hard, that's when you get stronger. Every challenge you face now is preparing you for something bigger. Every moment of pressure is shaping you into someone who can handle even more. When you embrace the pressure, you become unstoppable. So when you feel that weight pushing down on you, instead of retreating, step forward. Lean into it. High performers understand this. Growth never happens in comfort. It happens when you push yourself beyond what you think you can handle. It happens when you face the challenges that make you feel like you're at your breaking point, but you keep going anyway. You lean in. And in 2026, the winners will be the ones who embrace that pressure. The ones who don't retreat when things get tough. The ones who keep moving, keep pushing, and keep growing no matter what. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, don't run from it. Embrace it. You're about to break through to your next level. Self-trust over validation. Applause is addictive and dangerous. At first, it feels good. The likes, the compliments, the approval, it's a rush, a validation. But the more you seek it, the more you rely on it. And that's when the danger sets in. High performers in 2026 stop outsourcing their confidence. They don't need external validation to feel worthy. They don't need likes to remind them of their value. They don't wait for applause to take action. They don't need others to tell them they're on the right path. They trust themselves. They build internal scorecards. Their success is measured by the promises they keep to themselves. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about living by the standards they've set, no matter who's watching. Because here's the truth. When the noise gets louder, clarity has to come from within. The world is full of distractions. People have opinions. Social media has its opinions. Your friends, your family, they all have something to say. And at times it feels like everyone's trying to pull you in different directions. But the key to 2026 is this: you have to stop looking for permission. You don't need others to approve of your path. You don't need someone to tell you it's okay. You need to trust your own judgment. Ask yourself, do you trust yourself to make decisions even when no one else gets it? Or do you wait for others to confirm that you're on the right track? The future belongs to the people who can stand alone in their decisions. It belongs to those who trust their intuition, even when no one is cheering them on, even when they haven't reached the finish line yet, even when the applause hasn't come. The future belongs to those who can keep going even when it feels like they're on their own. The truth is, high performers don't need external validation because they've already validated themselves. They don't need to be told they're worthy because they know their worth. They measure their success by promises kept, not by likes or comments, not by how many people are applauding. They measure success by progress, the small wins, the breakthroughs, the steps taken every single day. So here's a challenge. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to move forward. Stop seeking applause as your source of motivation. Build your own internal scoreboard. Set your own standards. Make decisions based on what you know is right for you. When you do that, you unlock the kind of confidence that no one can take away. The kind of confidence that comes from deep within, not from external validation. Because real confidence isn't built on applause. It's built on trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to decide. Trust in your capacity to follow through even when the world is silent. So ask yourself one last time, do you trust your own judgment or do you wait for consensus? The future is waiting for those who trust themselves enough to stand alone. Even when no one is cheering. Strategic learning, not consumption. Information is everywhere. Wisdom is rare. High performers don't binge on content. They extract value. They learn with intention. They apply immediately. They simplify aggressively. They don't ask, what else should I watch? They ask, what will I implement today? Because unused knowledge becomes noise, and noise kills momentum. In 2026, learning speed matters less than learning precision. Depth beats volume, application beats accumulation, and action beats everything. The different choice. Here's the truth. The future isn't waiting for you. It's already testing you. Every day you're choosing reaction or design, comfort or growth, excuses or ownership. Most people will drift into 2026 unchanged. They'll decide who they're becoming and act before they feel ready. So here's my challenge to you. Don't remember everything from this video. Choose one shift, one decision, one standard, one action, and execute today. Because your future self is watching. And this is the moment they'll thank you for. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.